Okay, if you live in the Manchester, Connecticut area, be on the lookout for this man. I just had like the most terrifying experience with him. So I was at Center Springs Park this morning. If you know Center Springs Park, it's not in like a secluded area. It's right near Main Street, but once you're on the walking paths in the park, there's really nowhere else to go until you get to the park entrance or exit. So I'm walking through and I hear somebody behind me say, "Hey." I turn around and it's this man, and he asked me for the time. I tell him the time. I put my headphones back in. I keep walking. And then about 30 seconds later, I hear him say, "Hey," again. So I look back at him. I take out my headphones and he says, "Can I show you something?" And I knew what it was going to be. So I said no. But by then he'd already whipped out his penis. I put my headphones back in and I start speed walking out of the park. I didn't want to run because if I ran, I was worried that he would get mad that I was running away from him and he would go after me. So I'm speed walking out of the park. I can hear him behind me yelling things. I heard him say, can't you put that ass in my face? And then he called me the R slur and then a few other things that I couldn't understand. But I end up getting out of the park and up to Main Street. But this park has like multiple exits, and he gets to another exit and he exits the park and he sees me and he starts coming towards me. So I turned around, I walked the other direction, tried to go into a coffee shop. They were closed. There was a gas station that I thought about going into, but I knew if I went to a gas station, I explained the situation to a man, because like usually gas station employees are men. He just like wouldn't understand the severity of it. So I ended up like walking through a bunch of residential neighborhoods until I got to the main part of Main Street where all the restaurants, bars, coffee shops are. And I'm walking down there and I feel a little bit better because there's a lot of people around. But this man somehow finds me and he starts walking towards me again. And I luckily popped into a coffee shop that was open and there was a lot of people in it, a lot of guests, a couple baristas. I went up to the baristas and I explained the situation and they were really helpful, really concerned. Asked me what they could do to help me, if they wanted me to call the cops, if they needed me to call me an Uber. And then we look at the door and the guy is literally there, face pressed against the glass, looking inside, waiting for me to leave. One of the male baristas went out and told the guy, like, "You gotta go, dude." And eventually he ends up going away. And I called an Uber home. Oh, also, during my like experience while I'm trying to get away from this man, 2 separate cars honked at me and catcalled me. So I'm literally being like sexually harassed already by this random dude, and I have people still harassing me on the streets. Anyways, the guy leaves. I call an Uber. The barista walks me out to it, and I don't see him anywhere, so I think that he went far enough away. But like all of this to say, if you live in Manchester, Connecticut, just be careful. This was at 9:30 in the morning. It was broad daylight, people everywhere. I cannot imagine what he could have done if it was like 9 p.m. when it was dark out and there was nobody around. Like, terrifying to think about. But just like be careful, carry pepper spray, the usual things that women are forced to do.